Hi, I'm Kiesha of Simply Vintage Designs.
And I'm Hope of Hopemade Yarn Co.
And together, we're Pine Barren Knits, and this is episode 38.
And this is a special episode this time because we are celebrating our 1,000 subscribers. So,
wiki.
So on our last episode, we had mentioned that we were doing a giveaway and that we would be doing questions and answers to go with that giveaway. So
picking
a we lost one, so we got to put that back in.
I'm back.
So we've got everybody's name that put in a question. So we'll do that in a little bit. I guess
that should be churchy or sexy.
Do we want
church? No church, or in between.
Whichever you are feeling today. Do we want to start off with what we're wearing like we normally do?
Yeah, let's do that. We'll start with you first.
Okay. Well, I have the staple linen top on by Joji Locatelli. And it was knit in
Look at that.
Katia.
Look at the feed.
Yeah. I feel like it was Katia Concept. I don't really remember. I got it. It was what? A year and a half, 2 years ago?
2 years ago.
Like 2 years ago at Boardwalk. And it's a linen, I think it's a linen cotton blend. Or maybe it's 100% linen. Actually, I actually don't remember. I think it might be 100% linen, but I don't really remember.
I feel
if you look back,
because it felt weird.
It's very linen,
but it doesn't.
feeling.
Yeah.
But it did soften up a bit.
A lot. Yeah.
Yeah, but it definitely had that crunchy linen-y feeling when I was knitting with it. But I think it's really cute.
I love it. So pretty and very light for today's weather.
I cannot wear it without something underneath of it, but I think it works really well. I have a brown.
Depending on what time of the day it is.
I have a brown tank top. Brown tank top underneath it that I think works perfectly with it. So
it's good.
So that's what I'm wearing.
I'm wearing a dress that my cousin gave to me 20 years ago when I was pregnant with kid 3. And I kept it. It's lovely. It's got pockets. And it's perfect for the 100-degree weather. But in all seriousness, I'm wearing one of my... I was like, why is she like, where is she going with this?
Like, it's amazing that it had pockets in it when it's from that long ago.
I know.
It seems
Tell me
like
about
dresses with pockets is like a recent,
a rarity.
Recent thing, not from 20 years ago.
Yeah. So, thanks, Adele. Anyways, but this is one of the new bracelets that I will eventually put on or in the shop. Or if you're local.
Oh, gosh.
Chica. Oh, sorry. Out. God.
What's you doing outside?
That was my fur baby. Anywho's. Anyways, this will be in the shop, or if you're local, or you're going to be down in the area.
Do you want to show it up? I mean,
I thought you did.
Enough.
Yeah.
Oh, did you? I don't know. Did you? There
we
you
go. Look at that.
Because we don't have to put it on.
Thing. Oh, that's right. Yeah, because I can do it closer.
Enough. Yeah, because we all should mention that we're in a different location today.
Yes.
We are in Kiesha's studio this time.
We are. Oh, you know what? That mobile right there.
It's really cute.
Lori from the other Lori from Vera
Doyle.
Vera Doyle. Yes.
That's from there.
Lori made that. Lauren did these artworks. I'll show the rest. I'm sure you guys have seen me talk about my messy studio. So, yeah.
Oh, while we're at it, because she's got another one of her bracelets here.
Oh, yeah.
So we'll show that one too.
Yeah.
Her new bracelets. So, really cool.
I'll have some of those. We'll talk about it later.
Yeah, well, we can talk about it. I guess we started with
what back to church.
So next, we normally tell you what we like administrative stuff. We have shows coming up, so we'll let you know about that. We have one coming up on August 7th at the Knitting Niche in Ocean City. We were concerned about the weather, but we're not.
For some reason,
it's really weird because we had to go get pictures in Ocean City yesterday, and we thought we were going to be very, very hot, and we got there, and it was
because it was hella hot over here.
It was chilly.
Ocean City was chilly.
It was. Yeah. Ocean City was chilly. I was a little chilly, so I'm thinking.
And eventually, when you see these pictures, it's just like.
I think that, you know, I have a feeling we're going to be okay. So, you know, if you're in the Ocean City area, come out and see us. Kiesha will have her jewelry. I'll have my yarn. Yeah. It'll be a fun
Come out and say, hey, girl, hey girls.
So we're doing it on a Wednesday again, like we did back in June. So
you can find parking.
Wednesday, yes. So there'll be plenty of parking. The weather will most likely be lovely because it seems to work out that way.
Watch next week.
Knock on wood.
I know.
And then we have another show coming up at the end of August in Saugerties, New York, at the Perfect Blend. That will be on August 24th, which is a Saturday. So if you are in the Saugerties area, please come see us. And of course, you know, I don't know what I was going to say. So who knows? But yeah, so we'll be there. And then 2 weeks after that, we have a show in Montclair, New Jersey at Yarnia. I got it. So, yeah, so we'll be up with the ladies of Yarnia on September 7th, which is the weekend after Labor Day, which should be, I think, would be a good weekend to do a show. Get you ready for that fall knitting. Yep. And then...
I'm already seeing memes about fall.
Yay! It's been too hot and gross.
Yeah.
It was very hot on the porch this morning. I dyed 12 skeins of yarn and I was unbearable. Sweat was pouring off me. I've showered since then. For Kiesha's benefit.
Oh my gosh.
So yeah, so we have a show after that. We have a show on is it just the 14th?
Yeah.
On the 14th of September, we have a show in Cape May County at Spearlat.
You look at it, I can't pronounce it. We'll give you more information later. Yes,
we will. Because I don't think we even have like the hours of that or anything yet, so I don't have it on the website. I don't know that I've added the Yarnia event either, but I will be adding that soon. Yeah. So yeah, so that's what we've got coming up. We'll talk about our knit along when we do whips, because that's we both, I think, are working on, well, Kiesha's working on hers right now, so we'll talk about that.
It became the forgotten project for a little bit there.
Yeah, let's go back on it.
Yeah.
So that's it. Do we want to do our draw? Do we want to draw the name and then do some questions? Or do we want to do some questions, or do we want to do our whips first?
You just threw a lot of information at me.
Sorry.
Let's do our
whips and then kind of go into like our celebration. Yeah. Okay.
Ooh,
so
the dog.
It's a little noisy.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to. He's got him locked in the room with him.
Oh my!
And she is tearing up the door. So maybe I'll have back in the quilt. Back in the quilt crate.
All right. Well, I'll start on my whips since you're okay. So. Almost, of course, I don't know how many stitches I just picked up, so we'll have to see. But I have been working on my, this is that yarn I was telling you guys about that I did the Sophie scarf out of back a few. And by the way, welcome back to old viewers, and welcome to all of our new viewers. If this is your first time with us, hi, it's nice to meet you. And for those of you who've been with us, thanks for coming back and spending time with us again. But, okay, if I pulled that up, it gets really dark. So we're going to put it about here, and it's still not the right color. These are purple, even though they do not look purple on that screen. Maybe they will when I edit it. We'll see. Anyway, this is that yarn that I was telling you about. It is the 100% non-superwash, extra fine merino. I'm just making some little shorties out of it, just to test it out and see if it's good for making socks out of. It is like I said, it's 100% non-superwash, extra fine merino. So we will see how it goes. But this is that yarn that I'm hoping to have time to start dyeing soon for the shop. So I just did a 64 stitch cast on, 2x2 rib, did like, I don't know, I think I did that for like maybe 20 rows, and then did 2 rows of straight knitting, and then I did an Eye of Partridge heel flap. Just got done with my heel turn, and I'm just working on picking up my gusset stitches. So Actually, I just finished picking up my gusset stitches, so that's one of the things I'm working on. Do you want to talk about one of yours? And then
So one of the things I'm working on is my lapoof. I'm still, what do you call this at the bottom?
You're doing the ribbing.
The ribbing. I'm still here. I could have been done with this a long time ago, and I don't know. I started working on my other whip because I'm so close to being done with that. But I just realized that we are in August, and knowing me, I mean, I'm going to have about 10 more times where I'm going to mess up, and I still have to do sleeves and trimming. So I need to get on the ball. So, but I guess let me put my.
So that is the lapoof cardigan. And
yes, is our Knitalong. Oh my gosh!
It's a particular age cowl is what we're doing. It's our kind of Rhinebeck-ish. Yep. Knitalong, mostly because we want to have them done by Rhinebeck so that we can wear them. So
I can't wait until I'm done with this.
But the Knitalong is just a particular age cowl.
Yeah.
We're knitting the lapoof. You can knit or crochet any cardigan that you want to join the Knitalong, or you can do the lapoof pullover. Right. So that's what, and I'll probably put down on the screen, you know, the hashtag.
Right.
But in order to play along, I guess, you can either send us an email at Pine Barren Knits and put in the subject line a particular age cowl, KAL, or you can use the hashtag and tag us over on Instagram, and that way you get entered in. So, because we will have prizes come October. I think we said October 20th was the last day. So
yes.
When we do our Rhinebeck recap, we will probably also be doing our giveaway for the Knitalong. Right. So yeah. Whoop, whoop. So that's all the information about that. I guess I'll show mine, though I don't know that I know I pulled it out one day, and I might have done a couple of rounds, but
I know what's in that bag.
Much. What? This is.
Oh, I was like,
thing. It's like we're talking about these. So I did do a couple of rounds on my sleeve. I didn't make much progress, but I did do one thing. I got my fourth color. I got my fourth color split up. So it's ready, so that as soon as I do have some time, I'll probably work on this when we're at the show on Wednesday. Yeah. Yeah, so
we'll need something to keep us warm.
So I'm all set and ready. So I already have, like, they're all, oops, they're kind of getting wonky, but they're all split, and I'm almost, this one's almost gone, so yeah. So I'm ready to
am I good? Do I need to do that?
When you get to sleeves, yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
It's good to know.
So I've been working on that a little bit. Didn't make much progress. I was working on the project. If you watched last time, I showed you the project I was working on in sea glass. I can't show you that until September, but
it's beautiful.
It turned out beautiful, and it's done. So I do have a finished object, but I can't show you guys until September. So I will show you that. That's what we were taking photos of the other day. So
it was perfect. So, everything was perfect.
Yeah.
It was the golden hour.
Yeah, so unfortunately I can't show you, but I will. So
stay tuned. Come back.
Yes, come back in September and you'll get to see it. So you have another?
So I just bought up one more, what do you call it? Whip. And it's the falling down the staircases.
It's flower show.
Changing staircases. Yeah. And it's...
Oh, we didn't even say what yarns we used or anything. Both of our lapoofs are knit in Hope's Favorite. Yeah. And if you go back an episode or two, you'll get the whole list of all the colors. Yeah. But since we've got the question and answer coming up, we're going to kind of speed through it.
So this is, look, coming along. I'm almost...
It is. You're
I have
close.
One more,
You're getting
I think, lace section. Wait, no, I have one more stockinette and one more lace section, and then I knit all the way across, and this bad boy is getting put away until it's a little chilly out, so I can and of course on my handy day, I cannot tell you
might have enough yarn to do an additional section if you feel like it.
Okay.
I think almost everybody
who's
used my yarn to do it has done an additional section.
This twice sheared sheep, I don't know if you guys are out there like watching. I've been hooking y'all up. Like everybody every time somebody has, it doesn't matter where I'm at, they ask me about it. I let them know. They're like, I'm going to order it, or they have ordered it. Just, you know, your Pine Barren Knit girls, just saying, you know, we would love a sponsor. Just saying, like, we can sell you stuff.
You're cracking me up. Oh my gosh. Okay. So, is that all of your whips, or are you selling?
Yes, that is it. No, this squirrel's saying.
So I will just say it's back. Anyway, I am not done with. So if you've been with us, yes, I'm not done with the blanket. And on my Facebook memories the other day, it came up. It came up.
No, it did not.
It's over a year. It's over a year.
Damn.
Yeah. I didn't realize it. I apparently started on my oldest son's birthday last year.
Oh my gosh.
Like, really? Dang.
Oh my gosh.
So yes. So I have been.
This is water, guys. I'm very gimmicky.
I have been working on this for more than a year. This is the 9th square. Yeah, this is the 9th square. This is the Cloudy Day throw. I don't remember who it's by. It's a Knitpicks pattern, and I can't remember who the designer is. It's down. It'll be down in the show notes. But it is. I'm knitting it with Knitpicks yarn. It's there. I think the pattern calls for swish. I'm using Brava. And I'm using the colors I'm using are Currants, Dove Heather, and Cobblestones Heather, and then the last color I'll be using, there's a border of black around the whole edge. So this is square number 9, which is getting close to be. I'm over halfway done square number 9, so I am making progress. It's just I've had so many other things that I just haven't had that much time to work on it. But that's how far I am on square number 9. So yay!
Moving right along, as Kermit the Frog says.
Yeah, it's getting there. I
moving right along.
I don't think it's clearly not going to be done by the end of the month, but hopefully it will be done.
One of these days, something's gonna pop up and like, oh, so I hope you into that.
Really? Apparently, I need to turn off notifications.
Every time something comes up, I try not to read it, but I was just like, wait, Hope's talking, I can't read it. And this is her iPad, by the way. So I'm being TMZ nosy, okay? Oh my gosh.
Yeah, so
are we going to talk about, because we didn't talk about where we went.
Oh,
you know, we stayed in the car last month. Like, yes. I think we spent more time in the car together than, yeah. So we didn't even talk about where we went and who we saw.
Yeah. We'll talk about what we got later, but we can talk about where we went and what we did.
Oh, let's do that with that, though.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So we'll talk about that later. Yeah. On the episode.
You guys stay tuned.
Yeah. So then do we want to go ahead and we're already done with our whips?
Yeah. We kept it short.
We don't have any finished objects because they're, well, you did. You had your beautiful bracelets. But, yeah, mine I couldn't bring, so whatever.
And it's, trust me, it is gorgeous.
It did. It was funny because I was making it for a secret thing. And I wasn't really sure about it. But it's stunning. It really is. Really, it's a stunning piece. Yeah, I love it. I can see me getting a lot of use out of it. So I'm happy about that.
Yep. It's gorgeous.
So then, do we want to start with our question? A couple of questions, or do we want to go ahead and draw our name and then do our questions?
Let's do a couple questions.
Okay.
And then, I don't know. What do you think? What has some more like a flow?
Let's go ahead and draw the names.
So we're gonna go ahead and draw the names. Oh wait, let's see if I find a drum roll. Hold on, because that's how ridiculous I am. Let me see, drum roll. Maybe I should already have this ready, but
maybe, who knows?
Okay. They know us. Drum roll.
So if you were with us last episode, then you know that we were celebrating our 1,000 subscriber, reaching 1,000 subscribers, and we told you that you could pick out a skein of yarn. Kiesha's going to match it with a stitch marker necklace, and I'm going to add on a little.
That was a little premature. Sorry.
And I'm gonna add on a little mini to go with the skein, kind of make a little sock set out of it. So you had to put a question in and let us know what you wanted, and then we're gonna draw a question. Some of you didn't put your skein, but if that's okay, you'll contact us. So we're gonna draw a name now. We're gonna let you know who you are, and then you can contact us so that we I just realized something though. I put names down, but I'm gonna have to match them up to.
Oh, okay. All right,
So that's okay.
Look, guys, I'm doing this, and I'm glad I changed jars. Kid, too, you were right. Mom does have really big hands.
Did you get one? Oh, one fell out. You actually got two. Okay, there we go.
Okay.
All right. There we go. I'm back in. Here we go.
Here we go.
You got two still. Jan 2. Oh,
yeah.
Which one is that? Oh my goodness, we have to figure that out. Hold on a second.
I put number 2 because there's 2 Jans.
And I need to find the one whose question was, would you two ever consider putting together a knitting retreat? Oh, okay. I know who this is. Hold on a second. I'm pretty sure that's this one. Yep. It is Jan Heiberger 9877 is your YouTube
identification name.
We'll go with that. That sounds good. So yes. So if you're Jan, please send us an email at pinebarrenknits@gmail.com, and we will get in touch. We'll use that to get in touch with you. And she said she wanted the snowed in colorway. So
okay,
there you go.
There we go.
And then we'll get you all set up with your prize. So
I guess we'll kick off our question and answer with her question.
Okay, so let's start with that. So that was down here. Would you two ever consider putting together a knitting retreat? I'd love to see you do one in my current home state of Arizona or my heart home state of New Jersey.
Huh.
So we have actually talked about this.
Yes.
We're not there right now because we've got a lot of stuff going on.
Yeah.
But we would actually love
that would be
to
our
do
dream.
Something like that. We live in a great location, especially during the off season. There's, we live near Ocean City and Cape May, and we are thinking like, oh, that would be really fun to have people come during like the off season and do a,
Yeah, so Cape May would definitely be more of a,
yeah.
This Ocean City kind of shuts down.
Yeah,
and it's unbearable in the summertime.
Yeah, no, nobody wants that. So, we have talked, but
that's it. Much in the future.
Yeah,
much in the future.
We need to get our kids out of high school right now.
Yeah, I still have one. Well, we both have one more.
We both have. Yeah,
one
we
more.
both have one more in high school. So we need to get through that, and then we have discussed
We've talked. Yeah,
I think that would be a lot of fun. So yeah.
So yes, we have thought about that. So
yeah.
So let's see.
Like not in the screen.
Oh, there we go.
I don't know. There we go.
There.
That's better.
Because my head's so big.
I don't know what's going on.
My head's growing.
Like I had it.
I know.
But
so what happened? Maybe I think when I got up, it might have messed everything up. Yeah. Yeah.
So
damn dogs.
It's got like half of Kiesha's face in the picture. That's kind of
my
weird.
IKEA stuff.
Oh. Oh, okay. All right.
I just realized I was like, oh, that's kind of cool. And I realized this is my house. Oh my god, I am just a flaky source.
Okay. So that cross that one off so we okay.
Yeah, that's what I was holding pen.
Okay. Here, you wanna here. All right, make sure you so we know that's who. Yeah. There we go. All right. So, do we want to start at the beginning? We've got. I think this was the first question that came in was from Doreen, and it said, "How did you get started knitting?"
Oh, want to start with
You
me?
want to go first?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, real fast. I'm a crocheter. And I was making, like, looking back on it, like, was I really going to wear that jacket? Or wasn't it a jacket or something?
It was like
it was ugly.
Open cardigan jacket type of thing.
But I wanted, I don't know, like, I wanted something.
You wanted a garment.
Yeah, I wanted a garment. And then back then, like, I think now they have a lot more crocheted out.
Way more.
That look more like garments, where back then in 2018, not so much. So I had this yarn, and I was over at Hope's, a very hot, humid day, much like today.
Yeah, it was July.
Yeah, and she made some zucchini bread, and she made peach iced tea with some peach adult additive in it. Quite delightful. And that was the day she showed me how to knit. She told me, she goes, you don't have enough yarn for that project? And
she only had enough yarn to make one sleeve.
Yeah. That probably at that time would have sent me over the edge. I might have, taken out some people. So it was an awful day, yet good day.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but that's how I learned how to knit.
Yeah.
So, and here I am, a yarn hoarder. Oh my!
Well, she's a yarn something.
I'm a yarn something, honey.
Oh my gosh, that was funny. Okay, so I learned to knit. It was actually almost 18 and a half years ago. I had wanted, my mom is a knitter. She had been knitting for years, and I had more than once said, asked her to teach me to knit. She had taught me to crochet when she taught me to crochet rag rugs when I was in high school, and then she taught me to crochet with yarn and read patterns when I was right after I had my first son. I think he was maybe 18 months old or so when I learned to crochet. And then when I was pregnant with my second son, I realized crochet is really not the thing for having apparently all boys. So I didn't think that they would want to wear, especially like Kiesha was saying, a lot of the crocheted stuff looked very lacy, and I didn't think that my boys were going to be thrilled about wearing that. So I asked my mom to teach me to knit. I was home. At that time, I was living in Missouri, and I was home for a week just visiting over Christmas break, and I sat next to my mom, and the first thing I ever knit was a hat for my best friend from high school's son, her oldest son, and it was knit back and forth. It was knit flat, which I have not knit a hat flat since, I don't even know the last time I knit a hat flat. Now I do everything in the round. It was on the 14-inch straight needles, and it was one of those, I think it was like a red heart pattern, one of those free ones that you get like either on the ball band, or maybe it was even one of those ones that you get on like the little, like, I don't even know if they still do it because I haven't gone into like one of those stores, but they always used to have those papers that you could just grab a free pattern with the yarn, like in Hobby Lobby or Joann's or Michael's or AC Moore. And so it was one of those, I think, and it was like Red Heart family of hats or something like that. So I sat there, and Mom showed me how to get going, and when I would make a mistake, I would hand my knitting to my mom. She'd hand it back to me. I'd make another mistake, hand it back to her. We did this for a week straight, and
then you moved. No, okay.
No, and then then I went home. Then I went home because I was living in Missouri at the time. So and then from there, I got the encyclopedia. I don't remember. I'd have to look. I don't know who the book was even by, but I think I got it at like AC Moore or something like that. I got the Encyclopedia of Knitting. I got the boy. They used to, I don't know if they still do it. They might. It was the boy books. They had the BOYE, and you came with like 2 pairs of 10-inch knitting needles, and it was like how to knit. And that was part of, like, I think I had already started to look through that and try to figure things out before Mom got me going. But so that's how I learned. And then the rest of it, I pretty much taught myself because there really wasn't, I think there was actually a yarn store in Joplin, but I don't know if it was there when I first started knitting. I didn't actually find it until I was pretty much ready to move away. So I I pretty much taught myself from books and a little bit of like Knitty magazine and their tutorials, their picture tutorials, because when I started, there really wasn't any YouTube, you know, tutorials and all that. So, so yeah, that's how I started knitting. So the next question is for me. It's from Ann Knit Together. And it says, Hope, did you ever knit a soldotna? And I have never knit a soldotna, but I think it is such a cute pattern, and I do want to knit that at some point. And you don't know what a soldotna is, do you?
I'm look that up.
I pulled it up the other day. I don't know if I still have it pulled up. Let me see if I do or don't. I probably don't, because I've been trying to close some tabs on my phone because I'm one of those people that just keep every...
It's a city in Alaska.
It's also a knitting pattern.
I found it.
Did you get it?
Oh, that's pretty.
Yeah, it's really cute. I guess we should show. You want to show? Since
yeah, I'm charging my phone.
Oh, here,
that's really pretty.
So I can just.
I like that.
Yeah. So that's the soldotna.
Yeah.
It's a Caitlin Hunter pattern.
It's a city in Alaska.
And I have wanted to do it. It's one that I definitely, it's on my list to do eventually. I have not done it yet.
And she still hasn't grown that second pair of arms yet.
Yeah,
So
it's just, it is what it is.
So,
but
all right. So this one, there's a couple of people who asked that question. How did we meet?
Mary and
Kathy, and
I think Joan. It was
and Natasha.
And Natasha.
Yeah.
So
Hi, Natasha.
There's kind of a group of questions that kind of all go together. We had how did you meet? How did you two meet? And how long have you been friends? How long have you known each other? And where did you meet? And how did you meet and start the podcast? So we figured I just grouped all those together. So just figured it was easiest to put that all in one. So
yes.
Do you want to start? How did we meet?
How did we meet?
Do you remember? The first time we met?
Yeah. Well, now I'm getting all confused in my head because how you just said it. Yeah, okay, yeah. I was going to say, it was at Julie's.
It was
I was
knitting.
Like, wait.
That's how
it was
we
knitting.
met.
Yeah,
well,
we met
knitting, crochet.
And I was crocheting.
We met at a knit night at, well, it doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah,
but there
Homemade.
used to be a store fairly local to us called Homemade.
Yeah.
And she had yarn and fabric.
Yeah.
And it was right, I mean, I had been here for maybe a week, maybe 2 weeks. I don't even know if it was that long. I saw in the little cheapy newspaper, you know, the free one.
Yeah.
The one that comes like, sometimes you get and sometimes you don't.
Yeah, what is it
I don't even know if they still do it. I think it was the Gazette.
The Gazette. They've all merged now. Now it's the Ocean City Sentinel. Like it's all together. But the Gazette, because you could take it places and hold up the Gazette when you were, you know, another place.
Yeah. So I saw that they were having a knit night at the new store. They had just opened, and I just moved here, and it was in the Gazette. I was looking for ways to meet people because I was a stay-at-home mom, and I knew no one because, like,
this is a town where everybody has known everybody forever.
Yeah. So I went and I met Kiesha, and I was like, oh my goodness, she has like 3 sons, and I had 3 sons, and I'm like, this is my person. Yeah. And then we would see each other. We would see each other. I remember
seeing her in ShopRite in the grocery store, and she was knitting and like not breaking eye contact with people. And that you got to bring out that purse one day.
Oh yeah.
And it was this. I was just amazed by that. I'm like, how is she doing that? And looking me dead in my face and fingers just going or whatever. And I said, one day I want to knit like that too. Here I am. I'm not making eye contact with you when I'm knitting now, but I'm almost kind of sort of there. A little bit, yeah. So
that's how we met, and like I said, we saw each other around town for a few years because we
both wear glasses.
Yeah. Not sure what that has to do with anything, but it's something good.
I know.
But did I just drop a stitch? I'm gonna put that up.
Oh, I don't know. You were supposed to be working on it anyway.
I know.
She seriously finished it off and then put it and said, "I'm not going to work on this while I'm doing." All right, Kiesha.
Because I'm going to end up having to tear that back if I don't put it down. So anyway, at that point, our youngest were like 18 months old or something like that. Mm-hmm. So we saw each other around town. We'd say hello and talk whenever we would see each other at school events and stuff. And then when our kids were going into kindergarten.
Yeah.
We're walking into the building, into the school for the first day. It was their kindergarten orientation. Yeah.
Oh, was it orientation or potluck?
I think it was orientation.
Orientation, yeah.
We're walking in for kindergarten orientation. We're like, well, thank goodness I know somebody else who has a kid in this class. So our kids ended up in the same kindergarten together, and they became best friends. Yeah. And we started hanging out and knitting. At first it was random. It was mostly like when the kids were hanging out and playing. Right. And then we started doing some like mommy us meetups, and we would go out for coffee and knit, and then it became a weekly thing. Yep. Like a job. And now she just can't shake me. So.
I know. That's what I said. And even though like her kids, you know, they've gone off to do other things, she looked at me and she said, "You ain't getting rid of me, bitch." Those were her words. And every time Hope says a bad word, I'm like, "Oh, she said a bad word." Because y'all know I stay saying it.
So, and Kiesha was already doing her jewelry.
Yes.
When I first met her, she's been doing the jewelry
since 2010.
For 14,
February of 2010.
For 14 years.
Damn.
And so when I started, I mean, like I said, I've been knitting for ages, and I had dyed yarn, which I think is another question possibly in here. But I'm trying to answer how we decided to start a podcast. So this might actually answer some of the other stuff too. But originally I started dyeing yarn with my son, my oldest son, and I actually started doing that because of podcasts, because we were watching the Grocery Girls and they were talking about hand-dyed yarn, and I was like, oh my goodness, I need some of that. So he and I went to Maryland Sheep and Wool, and I bought my first hand-dyed yarn from On the Round, and that started the love affair, I guess. He and I decided that we should try doing some hand-dyed yarn, and and I didn't bring the book. See, this is the problem when we're not at my studio. And I will, because I think that was one of the questions on here, and I will make sure that I show you guys that book next time. But I got a book about hand dyeing yarn, and it said that you could do food coloring. So the first yarn that we ever dyed, we got some of the Wilton's, the little cake, which I can maybe show you guys those next time too. But they're just the little like cake ones, the ones that are like, they come in a gel, and they're in little pots. And I think I got, I don't know, a set with like 12 colors in it or something like that. And he and I just had a good time. We dyed some yarn. I've shown the yarn that we dyed on the podcast before. And we played around with that a few times. And then the pandemic hit, and my youngest son and I dyed some yarn with the leftover Easter egg dye, and we did some other stuff. And we just, we were just trying to find things to do during the pandemic. And some of my friends were like, you should do this. And I had wanted to try. I actually had thought about trying it at the beginning of the pandemic, but things didn't work out that way. So yes, we're getting more. Man, I need to silence my phone, and it's all good. People are getting together to knit later.
Okay. I was just like...
so I had wanted to try it sooner, but then it just didn't work out that way. So part of the reason that I started dyeing yarn was, I'll get into that later, actually. We'll do the podcast question. So when I started dyeing yarn, we decided that, I think I might have been like, we should do a podcast.
Oh, no, it was you. Yeah. Yeah, because I was just like, huh?
So I suggested that we do a podcast because I thought it would
Does it involve talking? Because I'm in.
Partly because I think it's fun because of the fact that Kiesha's a newer knitter. Yeah. And we, she started not long before, like maybe a year or so, year and a half, 2 years maybe before the pandemic. Well, no, it started a year and a half before the pandemic.
July of 2018.
And she was just starting to
just think where I would be.
I know. And then the pandemic kind of
I would be able to make one of these solidias, whatever. Sabana. Look at Matt and break an eye contact. I'd be like, here's my setup.
So I thought part of it I thought would be kind of fun because Kiesha's a newer knitter, and she's growing with and learning. And I think it's fun to talk about that kind of stuff. And I'm been doing this for a while, so I can talk about some of the things that we had a eyebrows visitor again.
Yeah, Eyebrows is home, so he let our fur baby out.
Yeah,
we're those people.
Yeah.
Oh, but I was gonna say what the whole having a podcast. I always do these lists. Right now, I'm at 54 things to do before I turn 55. I started this list back when I was 42. But I list all these things that I want to do, and one of them, once upon a time, was have my own be on a talk show. So
there you go,
crossing stuff off.
So we thought it'd be fun, especially with our respective businesses, to be able to talk to you guys and for you guys to get to know us, because I feel, especially with small businesses, I feel like I love when I can get to know.
You hear the cat?
Yeah. Now we have a crybaby outside the door, but of the fur variety. We just thought that, it's a great way for you guys to get to know us, get to know our products, get to know what we like to do and things like that, and get to see us making things with those things as well. Yeah. So that you're pretty much we started knitting together and just sitting and talking years ago.
Yes. Years
ago. Our little guys are now 15, and we started this probably when they were 5 or 6.
Yeah.
So
I remember remember Halloween? The one Halloween we took them out. Fun. No, they were karate chopping one another.
They were just they didn't.
And we could have sat back at the house and it was Oktoberfest. The berries have that. The following year, guess what? We got the big bags of good candy, and we sat and knit.
Which don't think that we're they actually both have asthma, and
it was windy that year.
It was cold and windy that year, which meant they couldn't go out and trick or treat that year.
But even still,
it was.
I'm an old mom. I didn't want to.
Yeah. It was a good alternative, and they still got to have a good time and play and hang out with each other, and we got to sit and knit and have.
Yes, that's what I was looking at. Like I said, as an older mom, I think I was your age back then. No, I was a little bit younger.
No,
I was your age back then. Yeah.
Yeah, so because that would have been that wasn't when they were little. Yeah. Yeah. So probably
I was tired and didn't feel like I was already worn out. Okay, this is the third one. Love him dearly. And he doesn't like getting dressed anyway for Halloween. So there's that. So I was fine. Look, expensive, nice, and it was the good candy.
Ugh. Okay, I just can't knit anything because I just made another mistake.
Ugh.
All right, I'm going to put this away because I don't know what I'm doing. Or did I?
So what are we answering next? So we got all those, right? I got my highlighter.
We got the whole group.
In Hope's color.
Oh, wait, how long have we known each other? I guess that was...
Yes, did you say?
We kind of said... So we just said because... our sons are 15, and we met when they were a year and a half. So...
Do the math. I'm not good at that.
What is that? 13 and a half years? Somewhere around 13 and a half years we've known each other. And been really, good friends for probably...
Yeah, they even have a picture, the mother-son thing of you and Ben.
Yeah, for the last 10 years or so. Yeah. So,
yeah.
Yeah, so...
Oh, sorry to answer that.
Just stop.
Oh, we're going to...
The next one, we had a question by Faith. We already answered how long we've been friends. The second part of the question is, are your husbands friends as well? I'm a single mom.
No, they are not.
3. And that would be a no. The short answer.
Yes.
The next one is Marcy. I did say personal. So anyways, how long have each of you been married? I was married for about 21 years.
I've been married. It'll be 30 years, December 28th. And we were just supposed to be friends.
Yeah.
But 30 years. Yeah.
So then from Catherine, we have you lived in New Jersey your whole lives? And neither of us have lived in New Jersey our whole lives. I did grow up in New Jersey. I lived my first 22 years. I mean, I did go to college, but my my parents still live in New Jersey. I grew up in the Salem County area, did 4-H and everything. I was fair queen and all that. So yeah, I grew up in New Jersey, and then I left for college, met my husband, and ended up we lived in Colorado for 3 years, and then we moved to Missouri, lived in Joplin, Missouri for 8 years. All 3 of my boys were born in Joplin, Missouri, and then we moved back to New Jersey after my 3rd child was born, and right before the big tornado hit Joplin. So I've spent the majority of my life I've lived in New Jersey, because
I've lived all over the place. My father was in the military, so I'll just do where I lived at the longest. So I was born in New Jersey. I was born in Atlantic City. That's where my family's from. And I think I was here for like 3 months, and then moved to Alaska, was there. My dad did 2 tours there. Like I said, we traveled, we were Virginia, like you name it, pretty much we were there. And then back in 85, ended up back in New Jersey. And if
you hadn't, we never would have.
I know, that is true. Finished off high school and everything. Did some college in Israel. Came back, met my husband. Then he went in the military, and then we moved to Italy. And then from Italy to Fort Campbell, Kentucky, but we lived in the Tennessee side. I don't know why I always have to preference that.
I don't know.
I always do. I don't know.
Well, because you didn't live in Kentucky.
We didn't live in Kentucky. Yeah, we lived in Tennessee. And then from there, I just jokingly said to my husband, we only had 1 kid at the time, and I said, well, it'd be cool if Sebastian was around his grandparents, because I never had that. My brother, sister, and I, we always, and I closed my eyes and I opened them, and I'm here. That was 21 years ago when he got out of the Army. So that's why I told my oldest, who lives out in Washington State, he says, I'm never coming back to Jersey. I said the same thing, and I closed my eyes. It's like a Stephen King novel. It's like, I'm kidding. You know what? Jersey does have its good points. It does. I like where we live at.
Yeah. It is beautiful.
Yeah, I love my friends.
We live in the Garden State part of the Garden State. So.
Unfortunately, we're in a very touristy area too. Yeah, that's the downside. Rough. And there are a lot of people in New Jersey.
Summer's rough.
Yeah, I think that's the problem. Summer's rough, and people are mean.
You don't want to be like, oh, I can't wait for fall, but I can't wait for fall.
I can't. The traffic and just people. Gosh.
Especially now with the golf carts. Ugh.
Oh my gosh! Yeah, everybody's driving golf carts in our local tourists. It's just
it's obnoxious, but
for the most part, like I said, I do like, and especially when we're centralized, because we're not too far from Philly. We're a couple hours from New York, so we're
not even that far from Washington D.C. We have a lot, and
then you have the mountains
that we can get to.
Yeah, you could be in the mountains, or you could be at the beach. So it does. It has a lot of people.
There's a lot of people, especially in the summer. It's actually lovely in the off season.
Yeah,
though.
I don't know anymore.
It's not. It's gotten bad. The pandemic brought a lot of people, and they didn't go home.
No, they didn't. And I think if I had like a second home, my second home would be in Vermont, but I'm just saying.
Yeah. It's sometimes it can be a lot of people, but it's,
But the one thing I will say is that I've given my kids, well, too, because my oldest was born in Italy, but these two, they can say, I was born in Jersey and I lived in Upper Township all my life.
Yeah, they have.
Yeah.
Yeah, mine cannot say that. My youngest can say that he's pretty much, he was 18 months when we moved here, so he doesn't remember anything from Missouri. Yeah.
It's crazy because my kids, eyebrows had a whole entire career before 2 of the kids were born.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And a whole entire dog, too, because I don't know if they remember the other dog.
Yeah.
Force. Rest in peace. But
all right, so that answers that one. The next one's yours. It's from Kit.
Let's see, Kiesha. I know you take the photos in your jewelry. How do you get them tiny enough and the right shape to go into your jewelry and stitch markers? I have a program that I you know, I can put the picture in and, you know, do the measurements and all. So that program, and then in Photoshop, I can set up, like, and do a whole entire page of a particular, you know, you put in the dimensions or whatever.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so that's why it takes me forever sometimes. Because I don't know if you guys met me, but... So, yes, that's how I get them into the perfect...
Size.
Yeah, sizes. Yeah.
Sizes and shapes.
Yes.
Very cool.
Yes. Thank
Okay, Dolores, I'm guessing she's in California because she says, anyone in California carry your yarn and jewelry? No.
Oh.
But if you know somebody that,
Yes.
Or if you have a favorite shop that you would like, let them know about us because
Yes.
we are looking for
goals.
Yeah, we're looking for more places to wholesale. So
She's still knitting, and
no, I fixed it, so we're good. And I got to get this blanket done.
Oh my God,
Gotta get this blanket done.
I'll be in grad school.
Keep going. So
here's your wedding gift. Oh my gosh. I'm crossing off because both of us here lately, Hope's been having some, how should I say, squirrel moments. She's another employee here at Simply Vintage Design.
Oh my gosh. Oh my goodness. So our next question is from Connie. How each of you organize or store your stash?
Oh. For me, my husband built me
I think you've shown them on the shelves.
Built me, like, I have a shelf system, and there's a Hope shelf system too.
If Kiesha takes a picture, I'll try to get a picture of hers.
But he built me basically. He says, "Look, it's wall art," and I'm like, "You're right, it is." So
yeah, mine is not that fancy. Honestly, I don't have that much of a stash anymore. I mean, most of my stash is for sale. So I do have some yarn. What I organize it all by weight and by whether it's hand dyed or whether it's just manufactured, you know, so that way it's easier for me to be like, okay, I'm looking for something variegated with speckles or something because I want to make this shawl, or oh, I need something solid because I just want to put heels and toes in a pair of socks or something. So it's all in. Honestly, I keep everything. We live in New Jersey. I keep everything in plastic just because, you know, sometimes it gets humid. Sometimes it's just better. So I keep everything.
I don't. But I do all the lavender and the moth thingies that are also lavender. It doesn't leave a smell or anything. So knock on wood, I haven't. Yeah.
So I keep everything in plastic bags and actually, I use it's funny, but I use when you get sheets or when you get the, not sheets, but when you get like mattress pads and quilts and things like that, they come in those big zipper plastic bags. I use those. I reuse them. Why not, right? Recycle, reuse.
Yep.
So I organize my yarn in there. Then everything is just kept nice and neat. It's not going to get dusty or anything else because, let's be honest, I don't have time to touch it anyway. So... So I keep it.
She's like this. I want to knit you.
I know someday. And we have Juno again.
Juno, get out! Out!
Juno.
Licking my.
Juno, no! Oh no!
Take it
back. All right, out.
I just got licked this time. I've been sniffed and licked. Sorry.
Oh my god. Oh my gosh.
Sorry, anyway.
He said that. Oh my god. Okay.
So that's I keep everything. I have like a box full. Actually, I think it's still in a box. It's not even bags. It's like a box full of acrylic worsted weight yarn from when the kids were little, and I made everything out of acrylic. And then I have my fancy hand dyes that I've gotten at shows and whatnot. They're all in plastic, and they're organized by weight. That's pretty much how. Someday, when I have a studio and I can put stuff in like nice cabinets and stuff, maybe I'll have my stash organized.
Not maybe,
better.
you will.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't really have, and that's part of the problem is I don't have a knitting room or anything.
Yeah.
So things are like shoved under things and shoved into like bookshelves, and I have a closet that's kind of, organized.
But coming soon.
Someday.
Yeah. So.
Katie Did says, what is your favorite go-to knitting book for help or inspiration?
Hope.
Yeah, I mean, I have some books, but I don't really use.
Yeah.
I mean, I have books, and I look at them occasionally. And I used to, before I started dyeing yarn, I did a lot of like designing my own stuff, especially like socks and things like that. And so I have a few pattern, like knit stitch pattern books type things that I, will pull a stitch pattern out of and, throw it in a sock or whatever. But I don't really have a go-to. Before I started all of this, I used to use the library all the time. I would get a lot of, I would look at a lot of knitting books through the library. I do have I think it's the Ultimate Knitting book by Vogue, I think.
Didn't you get it for your birthday or something one year? Or
I think so. And it's really great because it has a lot of really good information. That's what I bring when I'm doing the knit nights at the Ocean City Library for people to look at if they need something to look, if they're a more visual learner and that helps them.
I know a book that somebody got you for your birthday. Yeah, I think it's kind of cool looking. Yeah,
it is. It's a cool book.
No, another book.
You're talking about the Tin Can Knits, Strange Brew.
Oh, right? That's Tin Can Knits.
Yeah, Strange Brew. I love the book. It's really cool. It's a really neat concept, being able to kind of pick your yarn and everything that you want to do to make different color work things. But I will tell you, I have knit one hat out of it.
Really?
That's it. Because I just haven't had... I need to have... Yeah, I need to have time, but because I got that like right before I started dyeing yarn, and I just haven't had time to sit down and look at it. But that is a really cool book.
Yeah. I like how...
She got a cool book. She got the...
Nope, it's in my knitting corner.
Oh, The Knitting Bag of Tricks.
Yeah.
Right? By Patty Lyons.
Yep, that's really cool.
That's a cool book.
And then... actually looking through that.
Oh, and you've got the National Park one. That looks like a lot of fun.
I tend to buy books too. I like how they look, like aesthetically. You know what I mean? Like, so I have that book. I did get a couple of books from Knitpicks on sale. Remember?
Yeah.
So, but most of the time, like I do Ravelry.
Yeah, we're Ravelry girls. We do a lot on there. It's great because
it's there.
I mean, I love like the knitting bag of tricks and the Ultimate Vogue one. The Ultimate Knit Guide.
I pre-ordered the workbook because I'm a weirdo. I love stuff like that. Will I do it?
Yeah.
Probably not.
Maybe, who knows? But
I got a budget book sitting back here that I bought 2 years ago that.
But I like those types of books. Honestly, pattern books are great, but for me, I love Ravelry because a lot of those, there's sometimes when you can't get the pattern, and then that's when I'll go to a book. But a lot of times the books I get because I really enjoy how they look and they're pretty, but for the most part I use Ravelry. I did get, my boys got me years ago the West Knits Best Knits book. And I've knit a lot of patterns, and that's part of the reason I asked for that book, because I knew I wanted to knit so many patterns out of it that it made it worthwhile to buy the whole book, because if I bought the patterns I wanted to buy individually, it would have been much more expensive than just getting the book. So that's probably, that's probably it for that. Okay, then we have a question by Jan. I'm not sure which Jan. We had 2 Jans, so. Have you ever considered a career in stand-up comedy? I'm guessing that's for her, because I'm really not very funny.
Oh, yes, you were. It's funny, because that was on one of my lists also. But here's the weird thing. I don't know if it's painfully shy. I don't know.
Self-conscious?
Self-conscious. I feel like I would have if I don't know people, I think I have a hard time.
Which is funny because we really don't know you. Though we know some of you.
And you know what's crazy? When you brought up, like, talk, because I have a thing about speaking in front of people, because I mispronounce words. I do have a speech problem. And of course, with the ADHD, the brain is going 1,000 times. Like, in my head, I think I sound like a Rhodes Scholar. What comes out of my food hole? Totally different sometimes. I think I'm even saying things in a different language. I may have put a spell on someone. I don't know. But so that's always like my fear. And it's funny because when Hope started talking to me about doing the podcast, I'm like, oh my God, I'm going to be so weird and awkward. But and we did what we thought was a test, the first one. And we're like, wow.
Yeah,
this is easy.
It was funny because we weren't sure. Like, we kept talking about doing it. We talked about it for probably 6 months before we actually sat down.
I was silently saying a prayer, saying, "God, why did you keep talking about this?"
Yeah, because I had gone up
I'm so nervous.
I started the business.
Damn it, you brought it up again. Dear God, make her stop talking about it.
I started my business and then found out I had cancer 5 months later.
Yeah.
So then I went through that. I think I had actually might have even mentioned it before
You did mention it before.
I found out I had cancer, and then the cancer was like, you're not podcasting while you're doing that.
Right.
It was just not. It wasn't going to work. So then we were talking about it afterwards, and honestly, I'm glad we didn't try to do it sooner than we did, because I was a bit of a mess coming out of, because I had to do chemo and radiation, so I looked like a bag of bones. I didn't have much hair, so I think I would have probably been very self-conscious, and I'm glad that we waited a little while before we got started, but and
here we are.
So, and no, I've never thought about doing a career in stand-up comedy, because most people do not think I'm very funny.
Oh
my children really don't think I'm funny.
Well, I don't think anybody's kids think that they're funny until you tell them to do a chore. Oh, Mom, you're funny.
Okay, and then the next question is, what is your favorite one skein shawl pattern?
This is from Suze.
And this is from Suze. I will say, even though I haven't knit it, I think this one that everybody is doing, the changing staircases, is a really fantastic one skein shawl pattern.
Yeah.
I did the lone skein shawl, which I think that name is a little
deceiving.
Yes, because you can only make it with one skein if you have, I think, the skein that she had, because I ran out when I did it with my JoJo's base, and I had just enough, but not enough to do the tassels when I did it with my Hope's Favorite base. So it's okay. It's a pretty shawl, but I really think the Changing Staircases one is just really fantastic. I've never done the Reina, but I know that one's a popular one. I do want to try that at some point.
Well, my favorite one skein is the bright side, because I'm doing the second one.
You do like the bright side,
because it's easy, and I know.
Yeah, that's not really one that you. I mean, that one is a pooled. Pattern. So that's not really if you're just doing.
I'll let you know on this one when I'm done.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Falling down the stairs.
Yeah, I mean, I guess you could just do it even though it's not assigned pooling. It would just be a triangle or a triangle shawl. Yeah. So. Yeah.
Okay.
And I can't think of, I really haven't made very many
one skein. Yeah.
I love
I did that Waiting on the Rain one.
That was a one skein though.
Yeah.
It was one skein because you had one of the giant skeins.
Oh yeah, I didn't think about that.
That was like an 8-ounce skein or something like that from CC's wool.
Yeah.
That was a really big
one of her baby ones.
Yeah.
It was rare.
I don't know if it was 8 ounce or if it was 6 ounce. I don't know, but it was
so that's not truly
It wasn't a 100-gram skein. So, all right. So Janice wants to know, which Doctor Who doctor is your favorite? I know which one's mine, and I can't think of his name right now. But he was the second one out of the new ones. Why can't I think of his name?
I can't think of anybody's name because they all blur.
I cannot think of his name. Tennant. Isn't his name David Tennant or something like that?
Yes.
That's my favorite doctor.
I can't really think. I don't know. I have to think about that one.
You don't know.
I don't know.
I mean, honestly, I love Doctor Who, and I've loved most of them. There's been...
I can tell you who my least favorite was.
I know exactly who that is.
But
and it's a shame because we really wanted to love having a female doctor.
Yeah, but
it was so dry.
Yeah, it was just, it wasn't... I wanted it to be that same corny Doctor Who that made my stomach hurt, and this just made me think. And I don't. It was very serious. Yeah, and Doctor Who, like I've been watching Doctor Who, like I said, since PBS. That's how old I am, and so.
You'd have to go back to the old times.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's why I could completely drew a blank because I was just like, well, wait, like. Yeah. So, but like I said, it's really easy for me to tell me my least favorite one.
Yeah. That's a shame, and it's a shame because we really wanted to.
I really wanted. I was so excited, and I was just like, okay, why are they making it?
And it's a shame because you think about it, and River Song, she was, you know, I think she would have been a perfect doctor because she, when the character, the actress who played River Song during the. I think that would have been fantastic. But it just wasn't. I don't know. I don't know if it's the way. That's Jan.
Oh, already answered that.
I don't know if it was because of how they wrote it or if it was the casting. I don't know. I don't know what was wrong with it, but
I think it's how they wrote it. It was too close to. It mirrored what was happening in the world.
Yeah, it was written way too serious,
and I just needed a break.
That quirky doctor deal to
and during that time, like I needed a break from what was happening in the world.
Isn't that the truth? We all did. Okay, so our next question is from Kathy. What is your favorite tea that you have knitted?
Oh, that's a Hope. Because I haven't done that yet.
Oh, yeah, I guess you haven't. You started that one and then you didn't like it.
Again, I can tell you what I didn't like.
Well, I've knitted several tees. I've done the Dingley Dowel, the V-back. I did the, which is really, you could make it a tee or a sweater, the New Leaf by Jen Steingass. I'm going to have to say the New Leaf ginseng guess is my favorite because of the fact that I love ginseng guess. And I do love the way that fits too. Though honestly, I really enjoyed the construction of the Dingley Dowel. And I think if I had not knit it too big, that would probably be one of my favorites as well. Yeah. The V-back is cute, but it's
2 inches yet.
You got to be getting close though.
Right.
You've got about a 1/4 inch left.
So I have to go around 2 more times?
Back and forth, yep. And then you should be done, yep. So the V-back's cute, but I don't know. I love the fit of the Jen Steingass New Leaf, and I love the construction of the Dingley Dowel. So I would say those for I love Jen Steingass's construction too. But it's just color work, in the round. It doesn't have a really neat construction like the Dingley Dowel, which looks like it's pieced and it's not.
Yeah, I think that's the one I want to do. I want to try that one.
Really cool. And I am going to make another Dingley Dowel because of the fact that,
like how it sounds, Dingley Dowel.
that I want to make one that fits me a little bit better. So, and I will wash my gauge swatch and do it the right way next time. Oops. So Tanya is our next question, and it's, where do you get your color inspiration for your yarn, or do you just play with the colors in the moment? How did you meet your significant others? Okay, so it's fun. I'm not, okay, pardon me, I'm just gonna say this right now. I'm in the middle of a divorce, so I'm not going to do much personal, that kind of stuff for me. Keisha's free to talk about whatever she wants.
Okay, so Eyebrows and I met at, we both worked at a casino back in the day in Atlantic City, at Showboat, and I had a boyfriend at the time. And it wasn't even like that. But I used to always see Eyebrows around, and he spoke to me, but I would never speak. And then one day I dropped off. I said boyfriend, and Eyebrows was standing there, and he waved to me, And I waved back, and apparently that's all it took. That asked me, he said, he's like, did you speak to Eyebrows? Of course, he didn't call him Eyebrows, but he said, did you speak to him? And I was just like, no. Well, within 2 weeks, he broken up with me. He says, I think he said he thinks he needs some time to himself. So I was like, okay, that was October 28th of 1993. And by the following December of 1994, Eyebrows and I were married. And and then a couple months after that, we moved to Italy. And here we are 30 years later. Thank you. But that's how we met. And we, like he just got out of, Eyebrows just broken up with someone, and because they wanted to get married, but he didn't.
And then he married you.
And then married me right after.
So it was clearly not that he didn't want to get married.
Yeah, just want to marry a person. I was wearing this dress. No, I'm kidding. I wasn't wearing this dress. But I wasn't dressing like a church mouse, that's for sure.
Oh my
But anyways,
goodness.
this was the 90s. But and we were only supposed to be friends and all. And here we are.
3 kids later.
3 kids later.
And they're almost 30 years, right? 30
years, December 28th. Yep.
That's so exciting.
Yeah, so
that's so fun.
Yeah.
So I'm going to answer the other question because it's,
Okay.
I'm pretty sure directed to me, since I'm the one who dyes the yarn. So where do you get your color inspiration for yarn? Okay, so what I do sometimes, honestly, I get color inspiration from all over the place. Sometimes it's nature. Sometimes something comes, like recently, if you've been with us, which obviously if you're asking a question, you've been with us. I dyed the color to Boldly Go, and that was originally going to be called Midnight Madness because for some reason that name got stuck in my head, and this idea for yarn using my Midnight Wandering blue and then adding all sorts of bright speckles was stuck in my head for weeks before I actually got to dye it. Then I dyed it, and my oldest son said, no, Mom, that looks like space. It's got to be To Boldly Go. And I said, okay, that's how that got its name. But a lot of my colors come from, my 2 most popular colors, the sweater, the Avena sweater, if you've been with us, you've seen my Avena sweater. Pinelands was oops, because I had an idea.
That's so crazy.
Right, I had an idea for a different color. I was going to dye, which actually I dye now, is my color Garden Party. Was what I originally wanted to dye. This was very early in my dye adventures. So when I started trying to mix the dyes for it, I didn't realize that one of the colors came out way darker than I had intended for it to come out. So when I put it on the yarn, I was like, oh, that's not what I was going for. So I just said, okay, I'm going to make this work. I'm going to do something else with it. And Pinelands was born. Pinelands, the only reason the color Sand Dollar exists is because I saw the Avena sweater and decided Pinelands was the perfect color to do the color work, and so Sand Dollar became a color because I needed a color to do that with. But then there's other colors like the one that Kiesha just showed a little bit ago, that was the flower show. I was on Instagram and an ad for the Philadelphia flower show came up, and I said, oh my goodness, that needs to be yarn. And so it became yarn. Sometimes, if you've been with us, you know Kiesha and I like to go hiking. We like the outdoors. We don't like the bugs and other things. I was going to say, minus the spiders. But we do like the outdoors. And sometimes I do love those types of colors. When I first started dyeing, some of the colors I've retired, and who knows, they might come back, or they might come back in a different version. But when I first started dyeing, I had a whole kind of rustic rainbow. I had a red called Scarlet Night. I had an orange that was Jack B. Little, and they were all just very kind of dirty, I guess you would say. It was like a dirty rainbow. It had that, you know what I mean? And yes. like a rustic rainbow. Right. So, and I had, a whole, it was but dirty. That's kind of my, I do some bright colors, but not very often. I really enjoy, those, and it's not really muted per se, more just the very nature earthy inspired colors. So you'll see a lot of that. Yeah, I think that's like it comes from all over the place. Sometimes I choose to dye a color because I see something that I like and I want it in a certain color, so I dye the color that I want to make the thing in. So that happens often as well. So and like I said, sometimes photographs, one color I dyed, it was called Lucky Penny. I haven't had it for a while, but I was cleaning up. Actually, no, I think I made a mistake on that one too. Or no, I was cleaning up dye. And because I had spilled some, I don't even remember. No, I measured wrong. So I actually doubled the recipe instead of making just a single batch. And when I did that by accident, I was like, oh, now I have half this dye that I need to get rid of. So when I was just getting rid of dye and the color, I knew what I did though. So it was easy to remake it, but then I went for a walk and saw a penny on the ground that looked exactly like the yarn, and that's how it ended up getting its name. So it's all inspiration comes from everywhere. Sometimes Kiesha's gorgeous jewelry it's really funny because there's been a lot of her
pieces
one of my first colors, Autumn Suns, I think it's called Autumn Sunset.
Yeah.
Which I only have like 2 or 3 skeins left. No, I think 2 skeins left on bulky, and then that color will be retired. But that one, I was knitting a hat. It was I think it was the very first sample I knit. And I had one of her stitch markers on, and I looked down and I'm like, they match perfectly.
Yeah, I remember that.
It was really funny. So I find that often that her jewelry and stitch markers match my yarn perfectly. So that's pretty cool. So that answers that one. And then we've got Millie. I'm guessing that's Millie.
Wait, you skipped.
I just skipped Vicky. Yeah. So we're gonna go back and we're gonna do Vicky.
That's why I've been highlighting, honey.
Do you have notes anywhere of how you did the color transition? I apparently. Oh, I think did I answer? Not really. Hold on a second. Oh, I think I already answered this. Actually, thinking about. Yeah, I don't know why I added that one in there because I sent Vicky a message. That was about one of. That was about something that and actually maybe I put that on there because it was to remind me that I have not actually answered that for you. I need to do that. And I should have brought that shirt with me. I'm sorry, Vicky. I will get back to you about that. She was asking about the tank top that I was wearing last time, the blue and orange. Life has been very tricky lately. I've had a lot going on. So I will look at that sweater. She just wanted to know how I did my color, switched the colors from the orange to the blue. And I never wrote that down. And so I'm going to have to actually look at the shirt and just count. But it was when the color transition. So I will, next time, we're going to put a star next to that so I don't forget to look that up or to figure that out for you. Yeah, sorry about that. It has been
one hell of a few months.
It's been a little rough. So anyway, but it's all good.
Hey.
It's all good. So I will let you know, Vicky. So sorry. I will definitely let you know. And then we've got Millie. Do you two have knitting baked into your daily routine, i.e. every evening before bed, or is it more of an opportunity-based thing where you knit whenever there's time? Mine's whenever I have time.
Mine is pretty,
Do you have a schedule, like when you knit? Because
no,
I do not.
I don't have a schedule when I do, I basically, in the car, going to the gym, I'll knit. Before bed. Apparently, when her and I were out, my husband's friend, they had some going away at a brewery, and we set one dude off because we were both standing there knitting. Remember? He's like, "You guys aren't even listening to me. You're knitting." Oh no, trust me, I'm really listening. If I'm knitting, I'm definitely listening to you. But that's all knitting all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. When
Except for when I'm running. I've even implemented it into like walking.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've done it before.
Yeah. I when the kids were little, because like I said, I've been knitting for 18 years. When the kids were little, I pretty much, well, as Kiesha said, she saw me at the grocery store knitting. So I always had something in my purse with me, and I was an opportunity knitter. Whenever I had an opportunity, I knit, because when you got little kids and you're here, there, and everywhere, there's times when you're just like, you're there because they need an adult, but they don't care, that they don't want to have anything, they don't really want to have anything to do with you. You're just there because, you have to drive them to lessons or drive them to the doctor or drive them wherever, and then you've got to fill your time. So I would knit.
Knitting also helps, I think, for myself, although I just cut Hope off. It helps me stay focused, so I can't, because I am notorious, and a lot of it does have to do with ADHD, because this keeps me kind of grounded and honed in on this versus, cutting people off and all over the place. So... Yeah. So let's see. What's the next one?
Alex.
Do you have any advice for anyone who's thinking of trying to dye?
To start
dyeing yarn.
Well, what I talked about a little bit earlier. Knitpicks or any of these. A lot of the watch. I can't think of her name. Kim Knits. Kim Knits, I think is the Kim Knits. She's got a podcast. I will link it down below. I think it's Kim Knits. She gives you a lot of information on different bases and different manufacturers or mills that sell undyed yarn that you can buy from. But Knitpicks is a great place to start if you just want a couple of skeins of yarn, and they will often run discounts and things, and you don't have to buy a ton. In order to get a lot of the places, if you want to get a reasonable price, you've got to order a lot. Knitpicks, they run sales a lot, or they have like their 20% off things, so you can get a couple of skeins and not spend a small fortune if you're just trying it out. I should have brought the book. Anyway, I will link the book. I'll link, you know what, let me see if I can find the book. I don't know if I can. But I started off with, I can't even think of, the question is, can I even remember the name? But I started with, like I said, with food coloring. And because the book that, oh, here it is, it's right there, that was quick and easy. This is a great book, and apparently it is $11.99 Kindle or 14 something spiral bound, which is the one I have. I have the spiral bound. So it's called Hand Dyeing Yarn and Fleece by Gail Callahan. It's a great book. It's got lots of really good information, and I think a lot of hand dyers have this book. So that's a great place to start. It'll give you lots of information. Watching some of Kim Knits tutorials, but she also has, like I said, she has links to, like I think some of her are affiliates for her and things like that. But she'll even tell you about different bases and things like that is good information. I also have a book, I can't remember what it's called. Man, I'm doing good, right? Sorry. I have a big book. I think it's like the Book of Fleece or something like that, and it gives you information about like every type of animal that you could get fiber off of to turn into yarn. And dogs. So I think there's dogs in there. No, remember? Yeah, I know.
Cats.
But I have that book because I if you've been with us, you know I have very sensitive skin, so I was looking for information about yarns that are good for sensitive skin. So I looked through there and to get some ideas on what bases I might want to try. And right now I'm only doing merino, but there are other bases that I would like to try eventually. And I do merino and cashmere, and nylon. So those are some really good ways to start. But I feel like the best way, is to do like try some food coloring and stuff like that. Just to see if like, you know, just have a little bit of fun. But if you are really serious and you want to try, you know, dyeing with some dyes, you know, get a couple of different colors from, I know Knitpicks sells dye too. I think they have the jacquard ones. I get my dyes from Dharma Trading Company. You can order from them, but they do charge shipping and it's, it can be a little steep. But if you just are wanting to get a couple of dyes, you could do like a little pack from Knitpicks or something like that and just give it a try. But keep in mind, if you're not going to dye with food coloring, whatever you dye with, you cannot use for food again. So that's
utensils and stuff
if
that
you're that's why I say it's great to start just try it out with food coloring, because then you don't have to get designated yarn dyeing.
And then you realize you don't like it.
Like that. Right, exactly. Because you might find out you don't like it. And
this
you're
sucks.
like, well, I just invested a bunch of money in pans that now are garbage because I can't use them for food. So anything that you use with dyeing yarn, you can no longer use with food. So any utensils, any pans, they even... I've heard people use their microwave. I've never done that. I've only used my microwave when I've done food coloring. I've never done it with with chemical dyes. So that's something to keep in mind. And for me, especially because I've got my dye studio is on my sun porch, which is really just my dye studio at this point, which keeps everything away from. It's not even on the same air. It's not on the air conditioning or the heating as the rest of the house.
Hence us being here.
Yeah. Which keeps that, keeps the powder out of the air of the rest of the house. So I'm just extra cautious because I have an asthmatic at home. So I, really want to make sure that nobody is breathing in, the chemicals. And you definitely need, if you're going to use dye powders, you definitely need to get a mask and use that when you're dyeing, because you don't want to breathe in those dyes. But yeah, if you're just wanting to have a little bit of fun and see if you, enjoy, if you like dyeing, get some food coloring, get some Kool-Aid, get some Easter egg dyes when you are done with your dyeing Easter eggs. It's a great way to use up that dye and have a little bit of fun. That's how I got started. My middle son and I dyed yarn together, and then we even I knit up a little swatch, or actually I think I already had the swatch knit on some bare yarn, and we even tried painting the yarn we did a picture. It was like a little apple and with a blue background, and we did that because we were watching the podcast, and I can't remember who it was. But there was a bunch of people who were doing like hand painted, what are they called? Sock blanks. There was a lot of people back, this was probably
that's cool.
8 years ago or so, that there was a big thing with people doing hand painted sock blanks, and then you would unknit the sock blank and turn it into socks, which was really cool. So my son loved that idea, and so we tried that even. So we just played around with it and had a lot of fun. So that's what I suggest. Play around and have a lot of fun with it, because that's just the best way.
Yep.
Ready for the next one you want me to read?
Gail, this is from Gail. Will you bring guest knitters to your podcast on occasion? I was thinking about Keanu Reeves.
Is he knitting?
No, but he did just write a sci-fi book with somebody else. We can teach him to knit.
You said you don't really like to hear him talk. So
I know.
I don't know how that goes. Was he just for us to stare at?
Yeah.
We'll just have him sitting back here. We'll stare at him. No. We did have our friend Julia, who is a knitter and an author, on, I think, once last year. I would love to bring her back, because she's been knitting, I think, as long as I've been knitting. So she's got a lot of, knows a lot of patterns and things that I don't know. Right. So that's always fun. But yeah, it would be fun to bring on some other knitters, or to do like maybe because we're going to be up in Rhinebeck with a bunch of our other podcasting friends.
Yes.
Maybe do something, you know, sit down for a couple of minutes and do something like that and add it on to one of our
that
episodes.
That would be fun. Yes.
Or maybe do I shouldn't be saying stuff because, you know, I should talk to other people.
I know. So stay tuned.
Yeah, stay tuned. We'll have to see what we can do.
Come back and see.
But yeah, we should really bring some of our the only problem is that we have a bunch of different knitting groups.
Yeah.
It's just hard for us, you know, everybody's got stuff going on. So it's hard for us to get people together at the same time. It's hard enough for us to get together.
Yeah.
So let alone bringing in other people. But yeah.
It is something to...
It is. It's fun.
Yeah.
And yeah, maybe we can even bring a designer in at some point.
Oh, yeah, that would be fun.
Yeah.
Ooh. Let's see. This is...
I think it's Sharinda, but if I'm pronouncing that wrong, I am very sorry, and you can let us know.
Yeah. What did you ladies do before the businesses that you have now? Would you like to?
I'll start. I was a stay-at-home mom for 18 years, and before that I have a degree in apparel merchandising, so I worked for Target. I was the manager of their soft lines in a store in Colorado Springs, actually right near Fort Carson. So I managed all of clothing, jewelry, shoes, cosmetics. That was my department. And I also was the lead of the planogram. I was the manager of the planogram team, which the planogram team is who does all the floor sets. So yeah, when I was pregnant with my oldest son, I had to do a week of overnights and then a week of 4 a.m.s and then another week of overnights. I was tired. But and then I worked for a few other stores after college, but Target was the last one I worked at before I think my oldest son was about 8 months when I left my job at Target and became a full-time mom. And I feel like I was a mom and a nurse and all sorts of other things because I have 2 children with chronic illnesses. One's asthmatic, one's a type 1 diabetic, which is a full-time job in and of itself. So that's what I did.
Before this, I have a degree in education and in culinary. Culinary never used. Well, cooking for my family, but that's about it. I taught right up until I was pregnant with kid 3. And then I guess kid 3 was probably 6-7 months old. The district had layoffs. I was excited about them though, because I realized at that time that wasn't really feeling kids so much anymore. Like I like my friends' kids. My kids are okay. I'm kidding. I like my kids too, but it just, I don't know. It was like the perfect storm. I was 40 and I just had a kid, and luckily I was fortunate enough where I was able to stay completely home. So
yeah, but you started your...
Well, and I started, oh yeah, that's the other thing too. And at the time I was running dual, well, plus teaching. So I was a photographer. I was taking pictures of families and all, and weddings and all that other stuff. And then I morphed over into the jewelry business like about a year later. So I was doing that and teaching and 3 kids. And like something had to give, and it was the teaching.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then finally, like I said, I mean, I still do photography, but you know, it's different now. So, but that's what I did before this. And this is so much chiller and so much cool. And I'm hanging with my homegirl.
And we get to see you guys.
Get to see you guys. Yeah.
The knitting community is
amazing. They are amazeballs, I have to say. Yeah.
We love it.
Yeah.
We are so fortunate that not only is this our job, but it's
meeting new people and traveling.
We're very fortunate. We love meeting all of you guys. We love all of when we go to show, like I love trunk shows because getting to help people pick out the yarn that they're going to make things with, and then people will send us pictures, and it's really.
I love them because I get to talk to people. And I do. Like, I think some people think that I'm not a people person, but I am very much a people person. I love people. And I don't know if you guys noticed, I can't stop talking. So, But yep. Let's see. Ooh. Yes.
Wendy asks, what cast on and bind off is your favorite and why?
It's whatever she tells me to. Because why? Because I know I'm going to be at her house if I mess something up.
It depends. I use a lot of different cast-ons. I will say my go-to one is usually just the plain old long tail cast-on. But my favorite cast-on for socks is the German twisted long tail cast-on. I love that one because it's a nice and stretchy one. If I'm making a hat, I love to do a tubular cast-on because I love the way that that looks. That just got cold.
Yeah, usually when it comes on, let me...
The AC just kicked on. Woohoo! Bind-offs, I usually just do the I don't even know what it's called, just a knitted bind-off. I'm pretty boring when it comes to bind-offs. I know a lot of people love the, like the sewn bind-offs so that they can make the ribbing and all, but I'm just pretty, I'll do, like, I'll bind off in pattern like it says if it's for ribbing and things like that. I have done I think it's Elizabeth Zimmerman. I can't remember. It's a sewn bind off. I've done that once and I didn't mind it, but I don't have problems getting my bind off to be loose enough. So I really am just a standard bind off. That was probably more than you needed to know, but.
Oh my gosh.
Next is Denise. Where you get your inspiration? Okay, well, I already kind of answered that. Yeah. The inspiration for colorways. So
okay.
And then Nancy, how long have you been dyeing yarn? Well, officially as a yarn dyer and selling yarn, it's been just where are we? Am I a year or two and a half years? It'll be 3 years in November is when I started to dye yarn that I eventually started selling. But like I said, with food coloring, gosh, I think my middle son was like 10, maybe 10 or 11 when we tried that. So it's probably been like 7 or 8 years since I started like playing around with dyeing yarn with food coloring and whatnot. But to actually be dyeing yarn professionally, it's been just under 3 years. So that answers that one. And then our last one, which came in.
We already did. We already answered that.
Oh, we did.
How did we meet?
That's right.
Remember? I said,
yeah.
Hi, Natasha.
Yep. So that's all of them.
Kiesha.
Hey, we didn't do too bad. I thought this was going to be a while. Well, honestly, I was surprised at how many different questions we got. I figured we'd get a lot of questions, but I figured we'd get a lot of like the same question. I was not expecting to have a page that many questions. Thank you so much for everybody who participated. We really appreciate it.
Yeah. This was fun.
Yeah,
we should think about somehow implementing something like this, like every so many months, like a little question.
And if you ever have, like, we can add, a little question and answer to any episode. Really, if you have questions that you would like, just drop them down in the comments. We'll definitely answer them for you. And if you sometimes we'll just answer them down in the comments if it doesn't seem like it's something that would be good in the episode. But if it seems like it would be something that more people would like to know, we'll throw in a little question and answer at the end of the episode. So I think that takes care of our 1,000 subscriber celebration. Woohoo! And now we're going to move on back into regular scheduled
programming.
And you want to I guess we'll do what we got and where we went.
Yes.
So that was the tripod. Whoopsie.
So was it the weekend before last? So the 20th?
It was the time we were. It was like the day after we podcasted last time, right?
That was Rhode Island.
Why did I think? No.
We did trips again right after.
Yeah, it was the 20th, but we podcasted on the 19th, right? That was when we posted our last podcast.
Oh, we posted the podcast, yeah.
Right?
Wait,
I think so. No, I don't know. Who knows?
Let's see. That's August.
Didn't we post the podcast on the 19th? Because it's
it's a Friday.
Because today is actually so. Normally we podcast on a Wednesday and then we post on Friday.
Yeah.
You're seeing this on Saturday because we are podcasting on
Friday.
Yes, on Friday.
We were here yesterday.
Yeah, but I was really okay. If you thought I forgot stuff today, it was worse yesterday.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, it is what it is. It's been
1 week since you.
It's been a little.
Every time somebody says it's been.
Yeah, it's been
1 week.
There's been a lot going on.
Yes.
So anyway, so we went. Where did we go?
To New York.
To Mount Kisco.
To see Needles at the Ready.
Yes! Kevin and I. Hi guys. It was so nice. And
oh my gosh. And we didn't tell.
Excited for you and your first trade show. That
so
was
awesome.
So wonderful.
We were so excited that
oh, and that was up at Pick Up Every Stitch too. That's
that was the trip that we were debating whether or not we should surprise them or tell them. So we surprised them.
Yeah, we surprised them. And Ray was very surprised.
Yeah.
I think Kevin said that he
had a feeling because I said something, but I can't remember what I said though. They gave it away.
Oh, this t-shirt.
Oh yeah, because again, Eyebrows wants a t-shirt. And you know what's funny? Ray and Eyebrows has the same Target Captain America t-shirt.
That's funny.
I saw it in picture.
So we went up and saw the guys. We wanted to support them for their first very first trunk show. That's super exciting for them. So it looked to us like they had a very very
it was jam packed. Let me tell you,
it was very full. Yeah.
So we show.
Yeah, go ahead.
So.
You didn't bring your bag.
Yeah. Oh, yes, I did.
Never mind. I didn't see this.
So I purchased more because I don't know if you guys remember a couple months back, I ordered these from Needles at the Ready. And then I purchased, so I'm going to, is it back being cold again?
It's a little bit.
Here, I'll just turn it off for now. Let me see.
I should have brought a shawl.
I know. Is it turning off?
Yeah, I think so.
Shut down. Okay, so this is Fancy Flannel. And gosh, I just buffered. Anyways, I figured this will be.
You got the Achilles DK.
Yeah,
too. I didn't realize that you got the Achilles DK.
Yeah, so I think I'm going to do a hat for.
That's right. This is the one you got
for eyebrows. Yeah.
The Achilles DK is a 25% superwash merino and I said 25. 75% superwash merino and 25% nylon, and it's a 4-ply with 245 yards and 100 grams.
Yeah.
So very pretty. This is actually. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm interrupting you. This is what I originally thought I was going to get when I went because this was. I kept seeing them show this one, and I was like, "Oh, I want that one." But you'll see in a minute what I got.
Yeah, and then I got this one is Asteroid Belt. I think I basically fell in love with the names of them.
I think those.
And this
color's really pretty.
Oh, this is sock. The Achilles, right?
Yeah, it's the Achilles sock.
75% superwash merino, 25% nylon,
and it's a 4-ply as well. Yeah, and I think it's 462 yards.
And this is the same. This one's called Snowy River.
Yeah, I like Snowy River.
So pretty. And then this one is Steampunk.
I feel like you could add on.
Well, this is what, remember?
Well, that one too. But I also feel like you could do a fade into cobblestones. Don't you feel that's a almost perfect fade into cobblestones? Because
originally, I was thinking about doing these two. Yeah. And then you said that I can put that in. Or didn't you do, something?
I know, all three of
you
those.
You did and then she did this. So there you go. And then I kicked it old school. I dig deep into my Hope pile. And I worked this one out. Right?
Those are really pretty together. Yeah. I like that. That's going to be gorgeous. Whatever you make with that is going to be gorgeous.
And Kiesha, you making it for me? Me and me. Oh, no. Oh, I got to figure out what to do with this one.
Yeah, you didn't.
But you know what? That kind of looks good together, too.
That. Maybe you do
Oh.
a fade with cobblestones with this. I wish I had cobblestones with
Oh,
this.
you don't have cobblestone with you? Okay,
No,
so
I
this
don't.
might be cobblestone.
But look at that.
And look at those together.
That one, the one that I'm, okay, so I have, which I probably will talk about it more next time because we're already at an hour and 45 minutes. But, and I don't know if I brought it up on here, but let me see if I did. I want to knit a shawl for the shop. It's the Zorzel, which I got the inspiration from the guys at Needles at the Ready because they had it as a sample there. And that, I think, would be gorgeous.
Look at that. Look at this.
This is the Zorzel.
Oh, yeah.
With those two?
Yep.
Oh, my gosh. I think that would be gorgeous.
I'm going to have to buy the pattern. Yep. I love that.
Yep.
Okay. Well, you know what I noticed? Colors in here aren't too bad.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
We haven't had an issue with colors.
Really good.
Yeah. Look at that.
Maybe we need to podcast. Well, except for my socks for some. Well, they look different in every place.
Right.
I don't know.
But not for nothing.
But this is pretty good.
I am so excited.
This is a little bluer than it is in real life. In real life, it's got more green to it than that. But it's pretty good.
Spot on. Huh.
It's pretty good.
Thanks, thanks plant lights.
I feel like those with, you could do some sort of fade, a 3-color fade with cobblestone.
Oh, no. Guess what?
I think
that's going to happen. I don't think I have cobblestone. That's the one color I know. I don't have that one. Probably because I wanted to buy it. And you're like, yeah, it's a shame. Me.
Oh, well, it's not going anywhere anytime soon.
I know. She always says that to me. Whenever she wants me to buy, she wants me to wait. She's like, it's not going anywhere anytime soon.
Yeah.
Not like I'm finishing anything. Yeah. Not like I'm finished anything. So.
But yeah, put cobblestones right there. I think that would be a really good fade. Yeah.
Yep.
Anyway.
Oh God, I wish I had an extra set of arms.
Yes. And you're going to show the bag, or do you want me to show the yarn first?
Go ahead and show your yarn, and I'll show you.
So this is mine.
That's
so, like I said, I had so many. I only got one because, let's be honest, I don't have time to knit anything else. But so I had rhubarb in my hand, and I'm like, oh, I really like this. And then I had fancy flannel, and then I can't remember what the other one was called. The name is not Jasper something or other. That might be wrong.
Oh my gosh, ow.
Anyway, so I kept picking ones up, and then I was like, I thought I will have time. And actually, my son was like, Mom, don't turn it into a cake until you show it on the podcast. Otherwise, this would be a cake, and I would have already cast on socks. So
I'm so tempted.
This is going to be a pair of DK weight socks. So it is Violet Meadows, and it's the same base as it's the DK base. So, but yeah, DK socks go pretty quickly for me, and these are going to go perfectly with my purple docks. And so I kept picking up colors. Ray sold this. He was knitting these except for in sock weight yarn instead of DK. And when he pulled them out and I saw him knitting them, I was like,
I gotta have him.
That's the one I need.
Yeah.
That's the color that's going to go perfectly with my boots. And so these will probably get cast on when I get home, even though I should be working on the blanket never ended. Okay, show your bag.
So,
probably wrap up.
So my butt. So then Kevin, that man always got me buying a bag because he had me buy a bag at what was it?
Vogue Knitting.
So I was already walking around, and I talked to Kevin a little bit. And then he walks up behind me. He was like, "What bag are you getting?"
I gotta stop leaving him alone with her.
I know.
Because honestly, I had gotten, we had walked, and I was like, "Oh, you don't need a bag. You're fine." And
I did. It seemed like it worked.
It seemed like it worked. And then the next thing I know,
Kevin's just like, Psst. Oh, so this is by Redesign Project. Yeah. No.
Yeah, this is Redesigned Project.
Really cool, nice roomy bag. Look at the bottom.
Oh, I like the feet.
Yeah. Pockets. If you look inside, nice and roomy. So this is how it got me. It's all nice and section off. It's got like a little handy dandy thing to put your knitting posse. Your knitting posse. It's nice to put.
Which we didn't get to see them.
I know. Get to put my knitting posse. What do you call it? Tape measure in here. What other good things I got in here? Is that chocolate?
Did you just say chocolate? You have chocolate?
I thought I did. No, just empty paper.
Why not?
Yeah. But yeah, plenty. Sidetrack. Oh, here's the strap to the spinny thingy.
Oh, there you go.
But yeah, lots and lots of room. And because he and I weren't finished walking around the store, I got this little doohickey by
30 Maple.
Yes.
Ooh, are you okay?
Damn it! I just hit my feet. Yeah. So this is, I can put all my, because it's like a little magnetic thing here. Of course, I don't have any right now, but your
stitch markers
and all.
That's nice.
And then my phone goes in there like that. What?
Or you can put it the other way if you want to like watch videos or whatever. Yeah.
Say what?
And she can throw it at you.
I can throw it at you. Yeah. So
that's pretty cool.
It's pretty cool. So yeah. So that was my shenanigans, and I decided that I'm not even gonna lie, because I was gonna say, oh, this is No Spin August, and I realized like we have 2 shows coming up. And I'm going to be, I was going to say Plenty of Fish, but it's not. It's,
what?
On the 24th, we're going to be at,
oh, yeah. We're going up to Saugerties at the Perfect Blend.
Perfect Blend. Where did I get Plenty of Fish from?
I don't know.
Perfect Blend. And it's funny because everything I think about Perfect Blend, I think of coffee and a Danish.
Oh, they do. There's a lot of good places.
I know. And that's why this girl, like, I'm trying to, because I got Show Body right now, and Show Body is where we be eating good. Yeah, and not doing a little too much of sitting. So I had said to Hope, I said the next time she sees me eating something I have no business eating, slap it out of my hand.
I told her to do the same for me.
Yeah, and we haven't done it to each other yet.
It's gonna be so actually I have shorts on that are not elastic waistband, but pretty much all summer I've been wearing elastic waistband shorts. Mm-hmm. When it comes to wintertime and I have to start putting pants on with zip and button.
You might see your pantsless.
I do have a lot of. I might be wearing my leggings and dresses.
You don't want to wear clothes. That's why I said, like, this right now. This is way too comfortable, and I feel like skinny in this because I'm just letting it all. Because what I had on yesterday. Okay, so yesterday I had on like this like tank top, and it was grabbing and I'm sitting here like this, holding everything, and then we fixed it so you couldn't see your stomach. A mess. I tell you. Sound like Rosalind. but we are at
we're almost at 2 hours.
Yeah, so people are like taking an intermission.
We're gonna let all of you go. I think
yes.
We won't do books or anything like that.
Yeah,
we
answered questions.
Yeah, we answered questions. So thank you, everyone.
Don't forget 2 shows. August 7th, if you're local.
August 7th.
Come on down to Ocean City.
Or if you're not local and you're just visiting the area.
Yep.
Come and see us. We'll be on Asbury. It's beautiful. We had a beautiful day last time.
Yeah, it was gorgeous.
I assume we will.
I think the weather's going to be good next week too.
I think we're going to have a beautiful day.
And
and hey, it's August, guys. September's right around the corner. Let's come get some yarn, and you can start working
your Christmas gift.
Not just Christmas gifts. Oh yeah, are you bringing those? You're bringing those, aren't you?
Yeah. So I got my Jersey Christmas ornaments too. They'll be there.
Yeah,
they'll be there. Think about Christmas gifts early.
And the rest of my I have a few skeins of my bulky left. And they're marked down to $19 on the website, but they will also be there next week. So if you want to get some Christmas knitting started, you can do that. But hey, September's right around the corner.
Yeah,
so
before you know
come get some yarn and come figure out what you want to knit for your fall wears. I mean, it's going to be, before you know it, we're going to be throwing sweaters on.
Yep.
Sweaters and shawls. Come get some yarn and you'll
next Wednesday it's going to be 78 degrees in Ocean City.
It's gonna be gorgeous.
It's gonna be nice.
It's probably, and if there's a wind chill, we're gonna be freezing our butts off.
I'm wearing jeans.
We will be bringing
or change just in case. Yeah,
we're bringing a change of clothes because last time I was
freezing.
It's a good thing that I bring lots of sweaters and shawls.
Yeah, my toes were cold.
It was cold. It was
chilly, and it was hot as
it was awful
out here. Yeah,
on the mainland, but it was cold on the island.
Yeah. All right.
Okay. All right. Well, anyway, I'm going to show you some. It's shop talk time. Okay, I had to add this back on because I totally forgot to tell you about the yarn I've been dyeing. So I've been very busy in the studio dyeing yarn, getting ready for shows. That's part of the reason why I said I've been crazy busy. I have a new color, which is funny because one of our questions was a Doctor Who question, and I have a new color. And if you know anything about Doctor Who, this is Wibbly Wobbly. And if you know what that's a reference to, well, I'll just go ahead and tell you. Wibbly Wobbly, Timey-Wimey is a line from Doctor Who. He talks about time is a big ball of wibbly wobbly, timey-wimey stuff. So this is Wibbly Wobbly, which is my nod to Doctor Who because I love Doctor Who. So I've got kind of a little I think I'm going to call it, because this one said Out of This World on our last podcast, I think I'm going to call it the Out of This World collection. So we now have Wibbly Wobbly. We have, this is To Boldly Go. Wow. Which is like this when it's all skeined up. And this is, and I have these, both of these, so I showed you all those. Both of these colors are on all three of my bases, my regular bases. So I have, this is it on DK. This is To Boldly Go on DK. You can see all the colors in there. This is To Boldly Go on DK. This is To Boldly Go. Oh, I love that section right there. That pinky pink. Yeah.
I love that.
It's not coming out really great right now, but it's okay. Yeah. So this is it on Hope's Favorite. This is it on JoJo's Favorite. And then DK, Hope's Favorite, JoJo's Favorite, Wibbly Wobbly. So I have Wibbly Wobbly, To Boldly Go, and Red Dwarf are my three,
like that.
Out of This World yarns. So I have those. They are all up on the website. I have this, which needs a name. I haven't come up with a name yet. Oh, and that's not... it's not quite it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not
a little
quite
bit more buttery.
It's a buttery yellow with little flecks of green and peach. And honestly, this is, I don't know if I was hungry when I was trying to think of a name, but...
I know, I'm still trying to think of something food related you can call it.
Lemon basil scone. It might be lemon basil scone.
Oh my gosh.
Is that wrong? I don't know. It might be, but yeah, that's, you can see the flecks of color there. It might be,
looks really good.
Might end up being lemon basil scone. That looks
really good, delicious. Yeah. Noodle.
Yeah, anyway, so that's, this one I only have 3 of right now. I've only done it on Hope's Favorite. I haven't decided. It's... What I was trying to do was actually kind of complete my like soft color rainbow. And I do love the way this bridges the gap between, hold on a second, I have swatches, between my peach and my green. But I don't know. It might happen. It might end up being only a one-time thing, but it probably will because I really do like the way.
I like that.
So I do need to come up with a new pink, though, because I don't love the way Kissed goes with the rest of my rainbow. So I will probably be coming up. Actually, I have an idea for a new pink, so that'll probably be
I like that.
And that the green doesn't look...
I think it's your hand.
I don't know.
It's like shadowing.
It's not quite. The peach is too... Well, I tried. Anyway, maybe I'll take a picture. We'll see. Maybe I can get a picture and put that in. I think I might have taken a picture of this recently. So those are some of my new colors. I'll show you some of the other things that I have been dyeing lately, and all of this stuff is up on the website, and it also will be at our show on Wednesday. So I now have Garden Party on Hope's Favorite, JoJo's Favorite, and Splendid DK. So I love Garden Party. This is the color when I was trying to do Pinelands. Or not when I was trying to do Pinelands, when I ended up making Pinelands, this was what I was originally going for. And I made the tan too dark originally, which is why I ended up doing something different. So that's that.
I don't have Garden Party.
I now have blueberry picking on JoJo's Favorite, Hope's Favorite, and I have it on DK. And that's on the website. So,
I like that blue.
and I had to restock some things. So I have the shallows. I have some So Pretty.
So pretty. That's an oldie but goodie.
Yeah, So Pretty is. I still love So Pretty. It's so pretty. And look, So Pretty and the shallows are nice together.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and I also have some. I was working on some
cool.
beach plum.
Ooh.
Which beach
that
plum
looks-
looks really
yeah.
good with blueberry picking. So I also
Look,
think
it's-
that it's pretty with
Yes,
this.
I agree.
I think those two are pretty together.
Okay,
And
I have to turn the
then
air back on.
yes, it's getting warm. And then I have some spring petals. I was dyeing up some new spring petals because I
Oh, that's pretty.
had run out of that too. So which I think would be pretty.
Oh yeah.
That would be pretty.
Ooh.
So, or of course, I love beach plum with anything, just about.
What's that now?
Yeah,
Yeah,
you could do
yeah,
that.
it
That
does.
would be soft and pretty.
Yep.
So yeah, so all of this will be at the show on Wednesday, and it's all up online.
It's like a mountain
So if you're not going to be in the area, it's online. So you are welcome to shop. And I think that's it. So see you in 2 weeks. Have a good one, or see you in a week at the well, not even a week. Oh my
Wednesday.
gosh. I have a lot of work to
God,
do.
now I just panicked.
I know. We'll either see you Wednesday or we will see you in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Have a good one.
Bye.